What's up, y'all? Mr. Totem back again, here to give you another tip. One thing I find that whenever you want to get better at graph, a lot of times these little goofy graph hack Instagram, YouTube channels or whatever, they tell you, well, don't do this or don't do that or so on and so forth. A lot of times I find that it's actually better not necessarily to learn the sole tricks of being a good graffiti writer, but also just being a good artist. And I don't mean artist as a you know, an open idea, but I'm talking like your actual work ethic. So I'm going to show you a little tip that I use and have told a number of people this tip that I think helps them with their work ethic. So what do I mean? So a lot of times you find yourself sitting, you know, at your computer, right? And you're just, you know, messing around with your mouse or whatever, and you're sitting here and you're surfing the web or whatever it is that you're doing, right? And you find that you lose about 4 hours real quick, just like that. 4 hours is gone. You know, and all that time you may be looking at other people's graph, or you might be looking at other ideas and things like that, but you're not actually implementing any of it. So what do I like to do? I've had this little trick since I was a kid, and I don't mean like a kid, but I'm talking like maybe young. Maybe I was 20, 25 or something like that. One trick that I like to use is under my mouse, under my keyboard, I always keep a piece of paper. Whether it be long, short, doesn't matter, as long as I keep a piece of paper. So while I'm actually surfing the net and looking at whatever I'm looking at and stuff like that, dilly-dallying, whose new crossbow cap is up. What I do is I have this piece of paper, and a lot of times I'll just sketch, you know. I'll, you know, do a little letter study or something like that in it. So if I'm sitting here, I'm like, well, you know, I think I'll, you know, just do, while this screen is loading, I'll just do this little dilly-dally throw up, and while this is happening, oh, it's loaded, cool, yeah. So then you get back to surfing. But these little moments that you actually spend on these piece of paper underneath the keyboard, you end up goofing around and coming up with something kind of cool. A lot of times you sit there and you doodle. You don't really care so much. You don't care about whether you impress anyone. You don't really care about whether you're doing the dopest piece or whatnot. All you care about is, you know, I'm just got my little pen right here, little pencil or whatever, and you end up screwing around and making a little cool idea. You go, all right, you know, let me make a few lines. Oh snap, okay. And then next thing you know, you got a burner on your hands. So try this. Now the thing is, what people have to understand about getting good at something, it doesn't matter if you're getting good at graph or getting good at, you know, technical drafting. I don't care what you're getting good at. Getting good at 3D animation, whichever. The key is to trick yourself into enjoying it. I think it was Mike Tyson that said that, you know, the trick to getting it is, you know, making yourself believe that something you hate and making yourself love it or something like that. I'm pretty much paraphrasing. And that's kind of what this is. A lot of times we spend just kind of screwing off at the computer. If you want your graph to get better, you got to learn how to trick yourself out of laziness or out of being preoccupied. A lot of times, and don't get me wrong, I'm human just like the rest of y'all. I find myself, sitting there, messing around on the computer and stuff like that, looking at what's, I'm gonna look at, Facebook Marketplace. I'm gonna look at what's, I don't really, look at too much graph related stuff. A lot of stuff that I look at is design related. But during that time, I know that I need to focus on my graph, on my letters, on my concepts, on those things. And sometimes what they call a drawing board, getting back to the drawing board, we forgot that the drawing board is where you need to spend the most time at. So instead of sitting here and having a plate of food, or a soft drink, you can actually have your pencil and pen and a piece of paper to draw on. As you sit there and you look at stuff, I'm telling you, try this, y'all. Do a little bit of outlining. Just make a couple outline. Maybe as you see somebody's graph you like or something like that, now you're already going to be like, inspired by it. I'm not telling you to bite, but I'm saying if you get inspired, you could, okay, well, bam, let me do a quick E or something like that. Then you basically have gamed yourself into practical practice. You see, there's nothing you can do on the wall that you don't have on a piece of paper first. You need it on the paper first before you can actually like it. Yes, some people use different tools. Maybe they have like iPad or something like that. Man, get the fuck up out of here. Get you a pencil and a piece of paper. Keep it underneath. Keep it underneath your keyboard. All right. See, I just did a SHO, and this was just me doodling while waiting for something to load, or so on and so forth. I'm like, I got a fun little SHO. I was gonna do a Shogun piece, and yeah, I got a pretty decent SHO to play with. But that all came from just sitting here and just, all right, well, let me go ahead and, maybe I can bust a little arrow here. Maybe I can connect it here. Well, how can I, and then it goes back to my earlier video about longer paper. And that's why this longer sheet, this actually was one of the designs that one of the outlines I came up with this technique. I think I had drew this T and O. And when I did the T and O, as I was messing around, I was like, God, this is kind of fun and funky. Let me go with this with my AOK 70s kind of approach. You know what I'm saying? So I haven't painted this, but I have something new to paint. Try this, y'all. This is something that you could play with. It'll make you better. The real thing is to get your actual head in the game, okay? And this is one way to do it. Trick yourself while wasting time. You understand? All right. Try that out, y'all. Uncle Totem out. Check me out later. Peace.